guys, welcome back to Stitching with Your Besties. I'm Tracy, and it's been a while, as I usually say, so I wanted to get on today and do a quick floss tube, fill you in on what I've been up to for the last month, and chat with you before Christmas and tell you what's going on. It's been a while. Today is not a good day to be filming. I have a friend whose husband had an event last night and he's in the hospital, so I'm on wait to see if she needs me, and I'm not going to allude who that person is because I don't have permission yet to speak about it. That's their business. So and I also have a friend, if you'll pray for him, that would be wonderful. And I also have a friend who's having stones removed on Monday the 9th. I believe that's Monday. Maybe it's, anyway, the 9th. So I ask you to pray for her as well. And yeah, so it's that day where you get that text and you're like, oh, okay, I need to get myself ready. And I thought, well, while I'm ready and while I'm waiting, maybe I can quickly do a floss tube. And I'm going to try and do this in one take so that I can get it out to you and get it in your hands, as tomorrow is the Jingle Ball. And I intend to be there, so I'd love to have this out before then so I can meet some of you guys if you are still watching my videos. So anyway, welcome back to Stitching with Your Besties. I have been very busy this past month, as most of us always are. Halloween came and went. We had a great time with the grands, of course, going around trick-or-treating. And then November 1st, I decided to start decorating. I have, and I've mentioned this many times, I have arthritis, and so it takes me a little bit longer with my hands. There were a couple of days that my hands, my elbows, my knees, a couple of days that I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take an ibuprofen, which I'm not supposed to take. So, but you know, it was that kind of day where I did a little bit too much. We've worked in the yard some. We had some beautiful 70-degree days in November, and then we had, 28-degree nights some days. So it's been a typical Georgia fall. Had some rain, which we desperately needed, so that was a good thing too. Took the grandkids camping the day after Thanksgiving. We went down to FDR State Park in Georgia, which is very close to my home. And we took them to see his little White House. We took them, it was my granddaughter and my grandson. We took them to the Callaway Christmas lights and rode a trolley. And that night, I think, was the night that it was the coldest. So their little faces were frozen, but they loved it. And they were so thankful, which is just so sweet. I mean, most of the time you get this. I mean, they complained that it was cold, and it was. Me and their grandfather were like trying to hover over them and try and protect them from the wind, because it was an open trolley type of look at the Christmas lights deal. And so you're out there for an hour in the cold riding around. And of course, riding around in an open vessel is more cold. So anyway, we had a wonderful time, loved camping with them. We played Old Maid and Crazy Eights, and we colored, and my grandson's a great little artist, so he was able to draw, and we just had a great time just listening to them giggle. They were in the bunks. They loved that. So quality one-on-one time with Nana and Gabi. So I've decorated. I told you that decorated for Christmas early. My daughter went on her honeymoon. She waited until mid-November to go, so we watched her dog. The other dog's young, and it's a German Shepherd puppy, so she's wild. So she went to the kennel, and we did that for a week in November. They had a great time on their honeymoon. And then we had Thanksgiving. And this year, I think I've told you guys before that the way we do it with the in-laws is, my children's in-laws, is we trade off Thanksgiving. So this year was my year for Thanksgiving. Last year was not my year for Thanksgiving, which is why we went to the European Christmas markets, because my mom had just passed away, and I just knew, well, I told you guys all this. A hurricane had come in for our camping plans, had ruined the campground, and so we didn't have anywhere to go. So we just kind of were like winging it and had a wonderful time. So anyway, Thanksgiving came and went. We ate all the things. My sister and one of her daughters came over. Her husband had the flu. Her other two girls were with their other families. So, but it was just a wonderful trip, a wonderful time. All my kids were here. So it was a great time. And I get to tell you finally that my son, who is our oldest, they are turning 40, him and his wife, this next year in 2026. They have been trying for a baby since they met and got married, and it's basically 13, 14 years, and haven't been successful, and they have gotten pregnant, and so we're going to have our third grandbaby. We know it's a boy, and we're just stoked about it. Baby is due in June of 2026. She is right at 13 weeks pregnant, so we were able to announce it, and everything seems to be going well. He's growing. You know, she wasn't very sick. She was incredibly tired initially, as we all know. That's those of us that have had children. But we are really, really thankful to God for this little miracle. So we're going to have a new grandbaby in 26, and my youngest, who is turning 34 next year, she and her new husband are saying, yeah, they want to go ahead and get started as well. So who knows? I may have 2 new grandbabies in 26 or shortly thereafter in 27. So just keep praying for that, and that we have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy delivery, and we're really excited. So yay, a new grandbaby. All right, so today was a day where I woke up and lost a needle in the couch, and I also I have Kohana scissors, and they come with a little leather sleeve to put the scissors in, and that thing fell and I could not find it, so I started looking under the couch. And if you've ever looked under your couch, embarrassing. And it's so heavy, and of course I have a rug underneath it, so anytime I move it, the rug bunches up, so I have to literally lift it and put it over the rug to get underneath it. And so I was looking under the couch for my Kohana sleeve, and I was using the metal magnet to get the needle. I found that, but in the meantime I saw all these crumbs in the seat of my chair, in my husband's seat of his chair, and we have 2 cats, so I try and keep, you know, I have 2 in-law kids that have allergies to cats, so I try and keep the house, when I know they're coming over, nice and cat-free, dander if I can. And I saw those crumbs. I was like, oh my gosh. So today's the day, not only to do a floss tube, but I got my vacuum cleaner out and sucked the crumbs. I was so embarrassed. And then because I had looked under the couch for my Kohana scissor leather cover, I had to move the couch and vacuum behind it. And after I'm done with this video, I'm going to go mop behind there. Do you guys do that? Do you like see something and you're like, oh no, that can't stay today. That cannot stay today. Today it cannot stay. I've had it. So I moved the couch, picked it up on both ends, put it, you know, as far as I could up on the rug without smashing the rug, and vacuumed behind there. And I'm just waiting for my girlfriend to know if she needs me. I do have to pick up my grandson today at 2:30 from school. So just going to be a busy day. So I'm going to squeeze this in as much as I can. I don't have a lot of my stuff here, but I would like to go ahead and do a video because I haven't done one. Each day it's like, oh, I can't do it today. Oh, I can't do it today. Oh, so I'm going to get this done. All right. So I want to talk to you about my whips. I just finished. It was a work in progress this morning. I just finished. Well, I should say that I haven't done my back stitching, and I'll get to that sometime today because it is a class that I'm going to take at the Jingle Ball tomorrow. So y'all, I purchased a Jingle Ball ticket 2 years ago, and I didn't even join. I didn't go in at all. I may have peeked and didn't know how it worked. And then last year, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be better at it this year. And I purchased a ticket, and then we ended up going to Europe, and we literally flew home from Europe the day the Jingle Ball started. And I knew by the time I purchased the ticket, I knew that I was going to be in Europe. So I still was like, oh, I won't have jet lag. I can easily, you know, join something online. And I don't think I ever went in. So this year I'm determined to hopefully meet some of you guys and, you know, just stitch with you. It sounds fun. I've already alerted hubby that I'm going to be online most of this weekend. And I hope that I get to see some of you guys and get to make some things or accomplish some things. So I did buy Hands-On Design Stand-Up Santa class. I did not buy all the pieces and parts to it. So, you know, I bought it all separately, and I finished just this morning. I did finish without back stitching. So I do need to add that, but I did finish my Santa. He is stitched on all called for. He is on brown undyed linen fabric from 123 stitch. It is 20 count. It is exactly what was suggested on the chart. He's adorable, and Kathy is going to teach us how to turn him into a stand-up pillow type thing. So I've got to get all my pieces and parts brought up here. I got to get my sewing machine brought up here. I could do it downstairs, and I might just do that, but he is so cute. He was off a half a stitch, and I was able to find it, so I fixed that. The more I stitch out, the more I'm thinking I'm gonna probably stick with Ada. Now I absolutely do love linen. I think it makes it look old and vintage and professional. But listen, most of the time I struggle. Most of the time I struggle with, is that a half? Did I do a half stitch? Did I do the full stitch? You know, did I go over 2 versus just over 1? So we'll see. We'll see. I just think Ada is so much easier. I've got to add his pom-pom. I've got to do his back stitching. I will get that done sometime today, but I can't wait to show you next month how I finish him. I do have a red fabric, and I don't think I have it on me. Speaking of which, I probably need to find that. So I do have a red fabric that looks like poinsettias. So the fabric is red, and then it looks like it's white poinsettias, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I can't find it at the moment, which is pretty normal for me. Yep, I probably need to find that pretty quick since the class starts tomorrow, or the Jingle Ball starts tomorrow. So I'm so excited for him. I can't wait to back stitch. Again, I just finished him this morning as far as the actual stitches, and now I just need to go in and do the back stitching. I needed to get myself ready in case my friend needed me. So that's what I'm going to work on this afternoon. So that's my hands-on design, Stand Up for Santa. And also in the last month, I was able to do All Is Calm, All Is Bright, and Oh Night Divine from Stitching with the Housewives. I have put them on their round. I just have not, stitched the round back and then been able to make an ornament out of them. But this was so cute. Again, this was on, I believe, 14 count Ada, maybe. And it was so easy. Absolutely so easy. So this is All Is Calm, All Is Bright by Stitching with the Housewives. And then the next one I did was Oh Night Divine. I finished that in the last month. So I was really excited for those. So those are my stitches and finishes, basically. I was going to say too, another thing I was going to mention, I'm looking at my notes. I had said last video that I was going to convert my floss to DMC anytime I did. And no, I'm such a rule follower that it says get this, and I want it to look I want it to look identical to what the chart is, that I immediately ordered everything for this. Immediately ordered all the things that I didn't have for these instead of using DMC. So I've got to break the rules. I got to do it, gals. Guys and gals, I got to do it. On this one, I did have trouble finding some of the things. So I did have to go to a couple of different places to find the floss. Of course, once the kit came out, it got sold out very quickly. So I would have to kind of go around and see where I could find, the Whisper White so I think he's so cute. All right. And by the way, guys, real quick question. Do you like working with pearl floss? I'd love to know your comments. If you'll put your comments down below, and we can chat. I did pearl floss at Ohio at StitchCon, and I did it on one of those mesh bags. I showed that to you in another video. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan. And you could, on this Santa, that she said that you could use 4 strands of DMC if you didn't want to do the pearl floss, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'd like to know your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. Okay, so I showed you my finishes, which are what I was stitching on. I'm still stitching on Judith Kirby's house, Victorian house number 15. I don't have that with me. I've put it away. It's in timeout, not because it's done anything wrong, but because it's Christmas. And I'll be honest, I want to stitch patriotic. I think I told you a couple videos back that I may just stitch that. I am looking around my house, and while I do have a few stitches for Christmas, I don't even have them out. My bestie made me one over there. I don't have anything of mine out, so I do need to probably do some finishes, but I need to get myself going. So anyway, let me show you what I have finished. These are my FFOs. I'd love to have your information or have your opinion. I have an opinion. I'm going to share it because I don't know why it looks that way. Maybe I just need to turn it over. Well, I just pulled it off. No, it's dark. All right, I'm going to show you this, and I just pulled the bow off on accident, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. All right, so this is my hand holding this bow that I just pulled off. This is America Home Sweet Home by Primrose Cottage. This is the one that I showed you in the video that was wonky, and it was just the way I had cut my fabric. So I put it into a frame that was black that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. It has this white mat, or I put one of those boards, not the sticky boards, but just a regular mat, white. That's how I wanted it. I spray painted this black frame with a blue that matched my stitch. And if you need me to look that up, just holler at me through the comments and I will look that up and respond. And then I added these 2 bows. And here's where I see I used red and white check, and then I used Lady Dot blue rickrack. And I think it stands out beautifully. Here's where you can see that it's a little off for me, and I'm a little OCD. This bow is a little darker than this bow. So you see more white in here. They came from the exact same packet. And you know, I got the glue gun, I started adding stuff, and when I got back and looked at it, I could tell this one's darker. So if you were me, of course I've now removed it, would you go get a lighter bow? Probably, yeah. So would you let me know? So anyway, I think it turned out really cute. It's a little overwhelming as far as the bows and the print. I got these. These were picks at Hobby Lobby. I just took the picks off, put them in the center, and I think it's adorable. So again, I'm working on patriotic because of our 250th, and I really, really want to get most of mine done. I will tell you, this is my haul. I don't have it yet, but I may have. I'm not saying I have, but I may have ordered Chantel's 141 drum and Teresa Kogut's 1776-2026 pattern from chantel's141.com. I'm just saying it may have fallen into my buggy, and I just didn't realize that the extra $135 was in there. Oh. Listen, when it showed up on my YouTube, and hubby was looking, he was home, and he saw that drum, and he goes, "You need to make this." Well, that's all I needed, ladies. That's all I needed. I was not going to do it. I was not going to pay the price. I think it's ridiculous. Sorry, Chantel, I do. But it, you know, when your husband's supporting you, and it's Christmas, and, you know, what do you do? Anyway, so that's one of my finishes. And I was going to tell you, this is the frame that I got. So it's that black frame from Hobby Lobby. Just sprayed it. That's what this is. Sprayed that pretty blue. And the number of the frame, if I can find it on the back here, I don't know how Chelsea does this. It looks like it's 638957. Took this out, put a whiteboard back behind it, and just mounted my stitch. Okay. The haul I did from Fat Quarter Shop, I got, and I'm not going to show it all to you because you've seen it before. I got the sticky board. I got 11 by 14 sticky board. I got the 2 rounds. I got I think a 5x7, a couple of sticky boards of 5x7. I didn't want to have to cut them. So I got some smalls. I did get my, from Fat Quarter Shop, I got my fancy floss. So Classic Colorworks series. So that came in, and I think we're in the R's maybe. So I got that as a haul. I haven't got my drum set yet. I did order just recently from Primrose Cottage. Let me tell you that real quick. Remember, I'm trying to do this in one take, so give me 2 seconds. I ordered Primrose Cottage, Hark the Herald Angel Sings, Primrose Cottage, The Lord is My Shepherd, and Primrose Cottage, Nativity Quaker. Girl, I love a Quaker. So I've got those. Those were part of my haul. So that's Primrose Cottage, Hark the Herald Angel Sings, The Lord is My Shepherd, and Nativity Quaker. And I'll put a link here that you can go get those from their shop. I don't make anything. I just like to link it. I also got, I'm part of the Erin Elizabeth Club of the Month, and I've got my clubs this month, which is spring. So my goodness, we're already talking spring, people. So spring, and then I got a freebie, and it's adorable. So, oh, one other thing I got is I did get, so I have been looking at stitching stands. Because of my arthritis, I'm noticing that holding the fabric bunched up, or even holding the hoop, starts to bother me. So I kind of went to Lindy Stitches. I've been looking around. There was one that I saw at one of my retreats. It was $400. No, thank you. But this sits on my table, or it sits perfectly on my lap when I'm in my recliner. And it has, it's called the Z frame. So it kind of makes a Z, and you can move it to wherever you need to move it as far as how you like to stitch. So you just put your hoop, screw that in, and then, and I'm not going to do this too much, so I'm going to do it basic, but you can place your hoop where you need it to be for your stitching. So I know right now it's kind of at an angle, but I'm sitting here trying to do this quickly, but I'm able to kind of stitch. I need a bigger hoop, but I'm loving this. This is from Lindy Stitches, and it's called the Z frame because of the Z that it makes. Mine happens to be up a little bit, but it makes a Z that helps you. This is my most perfect Z frame from Lindy Stitches, and it's high quality, y'all. It is wood for sure. So I love it. That was my new haul that I got as well. All right, so I think that's it for my haul. What have I been watching, and who have I been watching? I am watching all of the Jingle Ball people that are coming out this week with saying, okay, let's join at the Jingle Ball. So I'm excited about that. I'm watching Nicole Spore. She's doing a Vlogmas. I love that. You know, she's such an inspiration. I'm watching Erin Elizabeth. She's also doing a Vlogmas. She's recently moved back to her home area of Canada, which is British Columbia. And so she's getting herself back into rhythm. She's got a new house, moved in October or something, but she's doing a Vlogmas to keep herself motivated to do videos. I understand that. So she's doing that and doing lots of crafts, and I love that. I love the moms and the homemakers that are doing Vlogmases. I just, that's what I do. You know, I love being a homemaker at this point in my life. I loved working when I worked, and I love keeping my home and making delicious meals. Last night we had baked ziti, which was spur of the moment because we had defrosted some spaghetti sauce on accident, and we just threw it together. So anyway, so I'm watching folks that are doing Vlogmas, which is Erin Elizabeth, Nicole Spohr. I watch Chantel. I watch Chantel's 141. I love watching Sully Stitches. I haven't watched one this month, I don't believe, of her. I love watching Chris the Camping Stitcher. She reminds me of one of my dear friends here. There's just so many. And then as far as when I'm watching outside, we rewatched all of Stranger Things prior to the release of the last season, and we have not started the last season. I don't want to hear any spoilers. I've been keeping away. We forgot what had happened. It's just been too long. I don't like how they have such a long break in between. And I think we had a writer's strike during that time or something, but it's just too much. But we went back and rewatched it. We're going to rewatch the new stuff doesn't come out. I think it came out Thanksgiving, and then I think it comes out Christmas. So we probably won't watch it until Christmas and then try and binge. I think the last one comes out January 1st. So we watched that. We watched Thursday Murder Club on Netflix. So cute. So cute. It's a movie. So cute. I hope it's a 2-hour movie-ish, 2-hour-ish. And it seems like it could be one of those where they could have another murder that they needed to resolve. But it's Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan. So cute, y'all. So cute. Thursday Murder Club on Netflix. We also watched Dark Winds on Netflix, which is an Indian, Native American. I think he must be a sheriff. He might be. Oh, he's a reservation police or reservation sheriff. I'm sorry, I don't remember if he was a police or a sheriff. So it's really good. And we watched all seasons of that. I think there's 3 seasons, and I think it's been approved for the 4th season. So I really like that. Really, really like that. I'm watching A Discovery of Witches. I'm trying to do that during the day. I absolutely loved that book. So I'm trying to watch that on Netflix for something to watch. Of course, I always watch, I forgot to mention, every Saturday I watch Stitching with the Housewives. That is a given. Sometimes when hubby's here, I have to go sneak in the bedroom and watch it. So I've been watching a lot. If you guys have anything to suggest, I would love to hear it. We just finished, A Man on the Inside, or The Man on the Inside with Netflix. That is Ted Danson, and that's a cute one too. And I think there's 2, maybe 3 seasons of that, so it gives you a good idea or a good couple of episodes to watch is what I'm trying to say. So I really like that. We need to watch Landman, so that's on our horizon. That's wonderful, or at least season 1 was wonderful. I don't know about 2. So yeah. And we need to watch Tulsa King. So we'll be watching that as well. I think that's on the 3rd season, and I think it's been approved for the 4th season. So lots to watch. For my books that I read, I am up to, I think, 37 completed books out of my goal of 25 for the year. I'm trying to finish, what is the name of my book? It's the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, might be the 6th. So I've read all of the Throne of Glass up to the 5th book. I should know this. And I'll put it down here at the bottom. I'm reading that, trying to get through that. They're really long books, and honestly, I feel like the story is a little long at this point. It's like, come on, let's finish this up. But she's got so many characters and so many intricate storylines. And, when you think about Throne of Glass, that girl was 16 when she started book 1, Sarah J. Maas. So it just is a gift. But I really like that. I'm just ready for it to be done. I also read from Martha Hall Kelly. It's called The Lilac Girls, and it's another World War II historical fiction. And there is some history, some true history in there. A couple of characters are actual people who were in World War II and were making a difference. So that's Lilac Girls. I also read Virginia, I shouldn't laugh, but I read Virginia Roberts Giuffre's book that just came out called Nobody's Girl. And I laughed, I guess, because it's uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable read. because of the subject matter, to be honest. So, yeah, so I wanted to read it and see what was said and kind of make up my own mind there. And my future plans, I'm going to talk about my favorite things in a minute. My future plans are, of course, Christmas is coming up. This is not my year for Christmas, which means that I won't have my son and his wife. They will spend time with his in-laws. My daughters do give me Christmas Eve, and then their other families get Christmas Day. Excuse me. So we will do a little bit on Christmas Eve with my two girls and their families. So I'm looking forward to that. I did tell you that we already went camping with the grandkids. We have no camping plans this month. I generally try not to do December. December is my husband's birthday as well. He's 9 days before Christmas on the 16th. So, you know, your weekends are kind of full of doing Christmas things, and then my husband's birthday, and then Christmas, and then New Year's. So try not to camp, but we are hoping to camp in January, if not January, February. The reason why if not January is because we do have a 40th birthday for my son, Cruz, and a 38th birthday for our daughter, Cruz, meaning they're going on the same cruise with us. My son and my daughter, I think I've told you this before, were born on the same day. And so we celebrate both of them at the same time, obviously. And since our son is turning 40, this is what he wanted to do. So we're doing that at the end of January next year. So I'll keep you informed on that. Have you guys, listen, today's the day I told you that I had to suck the crumbs from the crevices of the couch. It's also the day where your cat gets on the pillow and won't move for you to make your bed. And so I was like, well, so I made the bed up to the point of the pillow that the cat was on. And she was not moving. And I ended up going downstairs to start some laundry, and boom, 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 that kitty came downstairs. And y'all, I was like, oh, ran up the stairs while she was searching something downstairs. That's where their litter boxes are. And came up and made that bed real quick. And I'll put some video in here and show you. As soon as I had that bed made, she jumps back up on the bed like, hey. She's back. So today's that day. That seems to be every day. The reason why I brought up making the bed is my favorite thing this month. And again, I am not sponsored at all. These are just my thoughts. And I'd love to know if you've tried anything that I have suggested, are grounding sheets. And I'm going to go ahead and get my information so I can read you a little bit about grounding sheets. Now, so last year I had gotten a lot of ads on them, and you're probably going to get ads because you're now listening to me. But I have inflammation. I told you I have bad arthritis and I have inflammation. And I had noticed that I wasn't sleeping well. I seemed to be drained. I always wanted to take a nap. And I was really hurting. And so I decided to try grounding sheets. And I did buy the cheapest sheet I could buy from grounding.co. I believe is the name of the company, grounding.co. And it is not, 400 count thread count. So they're not the most comfortable sheet because I bought a lesser quality thinking this wasn't going to work. It works. So within a few nights, I noticed I was sleeping heavier. I noticed that I wasn't waking up to go to the restroom. I noticed that I felt rested the next day. I felt clearer the next day. And here's the kicker, y'all. I stopped sometime in maybe August. I decided, so what I was doing, because I only had the one grounding sheet, it only comes with the fitted sheet. Because I only had the one sheet, I would take that sheet off, wash it, put it right back on. And I decided I'm going to see if this works. So I put the sheet in the laundry and put my old sheets back on. And within days, I was hurting, like needing to take ibuprofen. Grounding allows you to, here's the benefits. You have superior electron transfer. In the old days, guys, in the old days, me, we would go outside barefoot. Our mom and our dads let us go outside barefoot. We'd be outside playing. We weren't on computers because there weren't computers when we were growing up. So you just played outside. And in most cases, we were all barefoot. That's the concept of grounding. Grounding allows you to eliminate inflammation. Or it helped my joints. It helped my sleeping. It helped me stay asleep. It helped me focus. I know it sounds crazy, but it worked. When I put my regular sheets back on within days, it might have been one night, might have been 2 days, I hurt. And like I said, I'm not allowed to take ibuprofen. So, you know, what do? I ended up having the sheets off 5 to 6 days. And when I put them back on within days, I felt better. Technology is supported by studies showing improvements in biomarkers such as reduced cortisol levels, decreased inflammation, and better heart rate variability. Benefits translate into better sleep, lower stress, and improved overall health. The way I found out about grounding was someone I follow on Instagram. She's a gardener, and that's why I follow her. Her yard is incredible. She lives in Michigan, and she takes her teapot full of hot water in the winter, and she pours it on the ground. All you have to do is stand on the ground for 15 minutes, and you'll release the bad toxins. So in the middle of the winter, she goes out every morning with her cup of coffee and her hot pot of water, pours it on the grass, the snow melts, the grass warms, and she stands there for 15 minutes barefoot. The key is to sleep barefooted. Don't have your socks on. You need to make connection with the ground. The sheet itself has a connector. When you look at your American plugs, we have 2 prongs and a third prong that's a circle. The circle prong is your grounding prong. And so what you do is you plug with the plug provided, plug that into that portion of the outlet. So it just plugs right into the round section of the outlet and it grounds. And most sheets that I have ordered do have a grounding pin so you can see if they're still working. You cannot feel the fibers. They're in there, but you can't feel them. I would recommend, because I think it works, I'm pretty confident, I feel great, you know, maybe buy a little bit more expensive, get it on Black Friday sale. I know it's over. Get it on a Christmas sale, get it on a special. But if you have chronic pain, I highly recommend grounding sheets. And I'm not even getting paid for this. It's just my opinion. All right, so that's basically all I have. I have no idea how long this is. I'm going to cut it a little bit. I'm going to add in a few things that I have forgotten about. I wanted to say Merry Christmas. I am pretty positive I won't be back here before Christmas because of my routine, apparently, of not getting these out but every 6 weeks. I will try and do better in the new year. Go watch some Vlogmas. It brings you cheer. It's just nice to see how their day starts with a cup of coffee and no makeup, and then they get their stuff going and they're productive and just joyful. You know, we all need a little bit more joy in our lives, and I'm definitely staying away from the negativity as much as I can. So I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Please pray for my 2 friends who are going through some medical issues, one with her husband and one with herself. And I will be thinking and praying for you guys this holiday season. I'm thankful you joined me, and I sure hope if you're at the Jingle Ball tomorrow and you see me, I am Tracy Boyle, Boyle, if that's the name you see, or Stitching with Your Besties. I'm not sure how I can log in yet, which way it'll let me log in. So I look forward to seeing you this weekend and making new friends. Let's be besties. Have a Merry Christmas, guys.